Okay, here all of you see second problem in the paper. All of you see second problem in the paper. Okay, a chain of length capital mass per unit length rho is piled on a horizontal surface. One end of the chain is lifted vertically with a constant velocity v by a force p. Chain is inelastic. Chain is inelastic. It is not enlarged during lifting up. Okay, so chain is inelastic, that it will not elongate. It is not elongated during lifting up. Now, what about the pulling force? They asked. Pulling force P is given, mass per unit length is also given. Okay, so you see, what is the work done by the force applied on the chain, lifting the chain up to certain height? Here, they asked the question, what is the pulling force required? And what is the work done by the force to complete lift the chain? So in order to lift the L length of the chain vertically, what is the lift the chain means we have to lift the chain vertically only. So what is the amount of work to be done to lift the chain by external force? That is the question they asked. Okay, now all of you look at the board. All of you look at the board. Initially, the chain is on the horizontal surface. The chain is in the form of a heap. In the form of a heap like this. Chain is in the form of a heap. By held one end, the chain is lifting upwards like this. by applying the pulling force P, which is equal to external force, the chain is pulling upwards. When the length of the chain is equal to x or y, the length of the chain is equal to x. At that time, okay, height of the chain is given as x. When the height of the chain is equal to x, at that time, what is the pulling force applied here? We have to find. Okay, here while the chain is pulling upwards, what are the forces acts on the chain along vertical direction? Along vertical, you see on the chain pulling force. Suppose you consider the free body diagram of the chain, hanging chain. Okay, the pulling force acts on the hanging chain upwards and weight of the hanging chain downwards. Weight of the hanging chain downwards. That's why the net force as the chain is pulling upwards, with constant speed v. Because as long as the chain is pulling upwards, the weight of the hanging part increases. So if you pull the chain upwards with constant velocity, the pulling force must be increased to maintain the constant velocity. Okay. Right. To pull the chain upwards with constant velocity, as long as the height of the chain increases, then 1 minute, some disturbance is coming. సార్ కట్టా నాగేశ్వరరావు సార్ మీరు మ్యూట్ చేసుకుంటే మ్యూట్ చేయండి సార్, లేకపోతే సైన్ అవుట్ అయిపోండి. కట్టా నాగేశ్వరరావు సార్.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్. సార్ చెప్పండి సార్.
మీరు మ్యూట్ చేయండి సార్.
ఓకే సార్.
మెయిన్గా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తాను మీ దగ్గర నుంచి. Okay, along vertical, when the chain is pulling upwards, the weight of the chain hanging increases, because when length of the chain increases, mass of the chain hanging increases. No, that's why weight mg increases. Whenever weight mg increases, then net force upwards decreases. But in order to move with constant velocity, net force must be zero. In order to make the net force zero, the pulling force is to be increased along with the weight of the hanging part. That's why here we see net force acts on the chain upwards is equal to P minus mg. That is equal to net force. According to Newton's second law of motion, that is equal to rate of change in the momentum. Because as long as the chain moving upwards, here mass of the chain gradually decreases. No, mass of the chain gradually decreases and weight of the hanging chain increases. That's why the increase in weight of the hanging part opposes the motion of the chain upwards. That's why some net force is to be applied. So there is a rate of change in moment of the chain due to change of mass, not due to change in velocity, because the chain moving upwards with constant velocity. So therefore pulling force is equal to weight mg plus dp by dt. d by dt of P means mass into velocity. So M means mass of the chain hanging. Mass of the chain hanging means linear mass density lambda is given as rho here in this problem. Symbol rho is given. So mass per unit length is rho. For this much length of the rope, what is the mass means into x? It is the mass of the hanging rope into z, weight, plus here v is constant, you write outside, d by dt of m. D by dt of m. Therefore, pulling force P is equal to rho into xz plus v into d by dt of mass of the hanging rope. M is the mass of the hanging rope. Mass of the hanging rope is equal to rho into x, no? That is equal to rho xz plus v into rho is the constant. Even the even the length of the chain increases, mass per unit length that does not change. That's why you write rho outside into d by dt of x. Dx by dt. Dx by dt means whenever the chain is pulling upwards, the length of the chain increases at the rate dx by dt. That is equal to speed of the chain, no, upwards. That's why it is equal to v. Therefore, rho xz plus v rho into dx by dt is equal to v. Since dx by dt is equal to v. So this is the pulling force required at whenever the length of the chain hanging or height of the chain is equal to x is rho xz or rho zx plus rho into v square. Already I said this problem, I think. It is the pulling force required. This is option A. So sorry, it is, it is option A. Next option, in option B, I think this option A is correct. It is in option A, that's why it is correct. Here, of course, here he has taken rho common, rho of gx plus v square. It is given like this. So this is correct. Next, work done, they asked. Work done by force to completely lift the chain. Work done to lift the chain completely. Here, as long as the chain is moving upwards with constant velocity, what is the work done by pulling force? Here, work is done by the pulling force not due to change in velocity, because according to Work-Kinsey theorem, even though there is whenever the change in velocity is there, then work done, net work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. But here there is no change in kinetic energy. There is no change in kinetic energy. Because of change of mass, some work is done. Okay, that's why in this case, here as long as the chain is pulling upwards, P value changes with X. That means variable force acts on them. Whenever variable force acts on them, in order to lift the chain upwards, what is the work to be done means, as the length of the chain changes, pulling force changes. That means F changes. F is equal to P only here. F changes. So as the variable force acts on the chain upwards, for the small displacement of the chain upwards, work done is equal to this one. In order to displace the total chain, so that the length of the hanging chain increases from 0 to total length of the chain L. What is the total work done? This is equal to integral x is equal to 0 to L. F means that is pulling force only into dx. Therefore, W is equal to integral 0 to L. Pulling force means this one, you substitute. Rho into Gx plus V square into dx. Okay, rho is constant, you write outside. Integral of Gx dx. G is constant, you keep aside. Integral x dx means x square by 2 plus integral V square into dx. V square is constant, you keep aside. Integral dx means x. Limits 0 to L. Therefore, work done is equal to, you substitute the limits, rho into GL square by 2 plus V square into L. When you substitute lower limits, you will get 0. Therefore, that implies work done is equal to, here answer is half rho GL square. You see, you just multiply with rho. Half rho GL square plus rho LV square. Rho V square L. So rho V square L. I think this is also correct. Already I said this problem. In today's paper, some important problems are there. Yesterday's paper. So we can discuss those problems so that we can have extra points also. There is a possibility to know extra points also. And I think two problems, there is a key mistake. One problem, two problems, key changes are there. Now, is it audible sound? Are you hearing my voice? Are you hearing my voice?
సార్ ఓకే సార్ వినిపిస్తుంది సార్.
Okay, okay. Right. Mute చేసింది సార్. Nice సార్.
ఓకే 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 సార్ ఓకే సార్.
Okay, next, third one. All of you see the third problem. All of you see third problem. All of you see the third problem. Third problem. In the figure, a wedge of mass capital M is placed at rest on a smooth horizontal surface. In the figure, a wedge of mass capital M is at rest on a smooth horizontal surface. Okay, here there is a wedge. All of us read the problem carefully. In the figure, a wedge of mass capital M is placed at rest on a smooth horizontal surface. A small sphere of mass, small m, hits inclined face of the wedge with horizontal speed of v0. There is a small sphere of mass small m, moves with a velocity v0, having mass small m, hits the inclined plane with a velocity v0. The impact is perfectly inelastic. The impact is perfectly inelastic. There is no friction anywhere and bodies are rigid. Okay, now, so the collision is perfectly inelastic. That is given. The collision is perfectly, the impact is perfectly inelastic. There is no friction. Then all bodies are rigid. Okay, now we have to check one by one. Which of the following four statements are given regarding this problem are correct? Okay, now you see the diagram also. All of you see the diagram also. Okay, now all of you look at the board. All of you look at the board. So here, the wedge is kept on the smooth horizontal surface and a sphere of mass small m is projected with a velocity v0 along horizontal direction. Whenever it makes collision here, at the instant whenever collision takes place, at the point of contact, you draw a common tangent. So common tangent is along inclined surface. Normal to common tangent, this is the line of impact. It is the line of impact. No doubt, as the inelastic collision takes place, whenever this sphere, small sphere makes collision with the inclined surface, after collision, as the inelastic collision takes place, after collision, the spheres stick to the this inclined surface, and along the line of impact, velocity of the two, wedge and inclined surface, both are same. Here, suppose the velocity of the wedge is say velocity of the wedge, because whenever the sphere makes collision with the wedge at this point, along the line of impact, it applies some force. Along the line of impact, it applies some force. So in this direction, the force applied is say N by the sphere. At the same time, because of reaction, the same force N acts in this direction. Okay, due to this normal force, the wedge receives an impulse. Due to normal force, whenever the collision takes place, the normal force exerted by small sphere on the surface of the smooth inclined surface of the wedge, the wedge receives the impulse due to normal force. That is along this direction. That impulse due to normal force is along this direction. Jn is along this direction. their component acts on the, you take the component of this impulse along horizontal direction and along vertical direction. Of course, along vertical direction, there is no possibility for the wedge to move. Okay, along horizontal direction, the impulse component, if it is theta, this is equal to theta. And then this component of the impulse in this direction is equal to j cos, j sin theta. No? So j n sin theta. Jn means that is a component of the impulse due to normal force. Jn is the impulse due to normal force. Jn sin theta is the impulse due to normal force along horizontal direction. Because of this impulse received by the wedge along horizontal direction, suppose the wedge travel with a velocity Vw. The wedge travel with a velocity Vw, say, towards right. Okay, then we can write J for wedge along horizontal direction. For wedge along horizontal direction. For wedge along horizontal direction. For wedge along horizontal direction, we can write Jn sin theta is equal to, for the wedge along horizontal direction, we can write Jn sin theta is equal to Jn sin theta is equal to mass of the wedge capital M into velocity of the wedge Vw. This is equation 1. Mass of the wedge, here they asked from the options. After impact, both bodies will move with the same velocity along horizontal direction. After impact, the sphere will moving only along the inclined plane with speed v0 cos theta as observed from the ground. Just after collision, component of velocity of the sphere along the plane is v0 cos theta. After collision, wedge will, okay. After collision, wedge will move with a speed of mv0 sin square theta by m sin square theta plus capital M. That is the question given. Okay, now here you see. So the wedge travel in this direction with a velocity Vw at the moment whenever collision takes place. Okay. Before collision, the moment of the sphere is mv0. It is the common tangent. It is the common tangent direction. So along common tangent direction, at the instant whenever collision takes place, it is a smooth surface. That's why along the common tangent direction, there is no impulse received by the sphere along common tangent direction. At the instant whenever collision takes place, suppose if you give some time, then definitely the sphere while moving upwards as a weight component md sin theta acts on the sphere along the inclined plane downwards, velocity changes. But immediately at the instant after collision along the inclined plane, the velocity of the sphere is equal to v0 sin theta, because v0 velocity is in this direction. When you resolve them into components, one velocity in this direction, another velocity in this direction, you see, in this direction velocity is v0 is there. Their component in this direction means along the inclined plane. You see, if it is theta, this is theta. Then velocity component in this direction is equal to v0 cos theta. Along this direction, v0 sin theta. That means whenever the small sphere travel along horizontal direction and makes collision, at the instant of collision along the inclined plane, velocity component is v0 cos theta. But at that instant, to change the velocity component v0 cos theta along horizontal direction, no friction is there. That's why their velocity v0 cos theta only immediately after collision along the inclined plane. But along normal to the inclined plane, it is having velocity v0 sin theta. It is having velocity v0 sin theta. With this velocity, it makes collision with the inclined plane. Okay, now with respect to wedge, whenever collision takes place along the line of impact, the velocity of the sphere becomes 0 because collision is inelastic. As collision is inelastic, collision is inelastic. Collision is inelastic. So relative velocity of the generally along the line of impact, relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge must be 0 because inelastic collision takes place. That's why along this direction the sphere is having no velocity. Okay, that means with respect to wedge along the line of impact, the relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge must be 0 because inelastic collision takes place. So as collision is inelastic, along line of impact, relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge is 0. Relative velocity of sphere with respect to wedge is 0. But velocity, actually velocity of the sphere along the line of impact is not equal to 0, because at the same time, as the wedge is moving with a velocity VW in this direction, their component acts in this direction. Their component of velocity component of the wedge along this direction is equal to V sine theta. Here in this direction, V sine theta, velocity of the wedge. Okay, that's why whenever the velocity of the sphere is also same V sine theta only along this direction, then relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge is 0, not velocity of the wedge, not the velocity of the sphere along this line of impact 0. Velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge along inclined plane is 0. So generally, the relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge is equal to, general formula is velocity of the sphere minus velocity of the wedge. Velocity of the sphere minus velocity of the wedge. Okay, therefore, along horizontal direction, from this, what about the velocity of the sphere? Velocity of the sphere Vs bar is equal to Vsw bar plus Vw bar. We can write now. Vsw bar, Vs bar is equal to, that means velocity of the sphere in this velocity of the sphere with respect to earth is equal to Vs bar, that is equal to Vsw bar plus Vw bar. Okay, now along horizontal direction, this is equation 2. Along horizontal direction, velocity of the sphere after collision, along horizontal direction is equal to how much? Velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction. If you know them, then we can apply the law of conservation of linear momentum along horizontal direction. So velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction after collision is equal to Vs is equal to, along horizontal direction, that is say velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction Vsx along x-axis, that is equal to velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge along horizontal direction. What is the velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge along horizontal direction? Tell me how we can say along horizontal direction. With respect to wedge, as the sphere is moving along this direction at that instant with a velocity V0 cos theta, along horizontal direction, their component is V0 cos theta into cos theta, no? V0 cos theta into V0 cos theta. Okay, so V0 cos phi theta you will get. So this is equal to velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction is equal to, along horizontal direction, velocity of the wedge is Vw only. Along horizontal direction, here the actually along this line of impact, as the inelastic collision takes place, velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge along line of impact becomes 0. But along the inclined plane, as there is no velocity for the sphere along inclined plane, then with respect to wedge, the sphere travel in this direction with a horizontal velocity, with relative velocity Vr in this direction. Relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge along horizontal direction. Relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge along horizontal direction. Sorry, along this direction is equal to Vsw. But along horizontal direction, we are applying the formula. That's why velocity of the sphere along x-axis or along horizontal direction is equal to relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge along x-axis. That means here the relative velocity of the sphere along x-axis is equal to, how we can write? This is Vsw. Their component along this direction is Vsw cos theta plus velocity of the wedge. Here all horizontal velocities are taken towards left only. That's why you have to write plus only. The relative velocity component along horizontal direction is towards left. Velocity of the wedge is also towards left. Velocity of the wedge is Vw. Velocity of the wedge along horizontal direction is equal to Vw. Okay. So velocity of the sphere along x-axis or along horizontal direction is equal to, along x-axis or along horizontal direction. Okay, that is equal to along horizontal. You write h, suffix h. That means along horizontal. Velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction is equal to Vsw cos theta plus Vw. Okay, where Vsw is the relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge. With respect to wedge, the sphere seems to be travel along this direction only. because collision is inelastic. That's why whenever inelastic collision takes place, the sphere and the wedge both stick together and move together. That's why along this line of impact, as both stick together along this direction, there is no relative velocity. Only the sphere seems to be travel along this direction with respect to wedge. That's why with respect to wedge, the relative velocity of the sphere with respect to wedge is along this incline only. That is VSW. That is VSW. So that is say VR. It is the relative velocity of sphere with respect to wedge. Okay. Now along horizontal direction, velocity of the sphere VSH is equal to velocity of the relative velocity of the solid sphere with respect to wedge along x-axis, that is equal to component of this one along this direction, plus velocity of the wedge along horizontal direction is VW only. This is equation 3. Okay, now what is the relative velocity? What about the relative velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction? You apply the law of conservation of linear momentum also along horizontal. When I derive that equation also, then you can have idea why we have to find this one. Along horizontal, according to law of conservation of linear momentum, before collision, along horizontal direction, momentum is equal to this is a initial velocity, okay, mv naught. Before collision, wedge is at rest and sphere only moving along horizontal direction with a velocity v naught. That's why momentum before collision is mv naught. After collision, as the wedge travel with a velocity vw in this direction, momentum of the wedge m into vw plus momentum of the sphere along horizontal direction. Mass of the sphere is small m into velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction is this one. Okay, therefore mv naught is equal to capital M into vw plus small m into velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction is equal to velocity of the wedge plus velocity of the solid sphere with respect to wedge into cos theta. Okay, this is equation 4. That is equation 4. Now from this equation, mv naught is equal to we have to find the velocity of the wedge. So you keep velocity of the wedge here only. M into VW plus small m into VW, we keep like this only. What about VSW? From this formula, what about VSW? VSW cos theta we have to substitute. VSW cos theta is equal to we can write VSH minus VW we can write. So what about VSW? Velocity of the solid sphere with respect to wedge along x-axis. How we can write? Anybody else? Velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction is equal to you substitute mv naught is equal to, okay, you write like this. Here we write like this. Here small m into VW plus m VSW cos theta, you write like this. So mv naught is equal to, you take VW common in both, of capital M plus small m plus m into. So what about VSW? How we can write VSW? You see, VSW we have taken this direction now, along incline. You see, along incline, velocity of VSW means that is the relative velocity of the solid sphere with respect to wedge along incline. No, along incline. Here we write along incline. velocity of solid sphere with respect to wedge along incline is equal to velocity of the sphere along incline minus velocity of the, of course, this is formula. This is general formula. Velocity of the solid sphere along incline before collision. Before collision, along the incline, what is the velocity of the solid sphere? V naught cos theta, no? So you write V naught cos theta. VSW along incline is equal to V naught cos theta minus velocity of the wedge. Minus here, even after collision also, along incline velocity of the solid sphere does not change along this direction. With respect to earth, velocity of the solid sphere along incline immediately after collision is V naught cos theta only. But after collision, velocity of the wedge along this direction is, in this direction, velocity of the wedge is VW. Their component in this direction is VW cos theta, no? That's why here minus VW cos theta you write. So after collision, velocity of the solid sphere along incline VSW is equal to velocity of the solid sphere along incline after collision with respect to earth minus velocity of the wedge along incline with respect to earth. Velocity of the sphere along incline with respect to earth is equal to along incline at the instant whenever collision takes place along the incline, there is no change in the velocity of the sphere along incline, as no force acts on the sphere along incline immediately after collision. If you give some time, then because of gravitational force component mg sin theta acts, V naught cos theta changes, but at the instant immediately after collision they ask it. That's why immediately after collision along incline velocity component is V naught cos theta for the sphere, for the wedge VW cos theta. That's why VW cos theta. Now we substitute this value here. It is say this is say it is 2, it is 3, say it is 4, it is 4, it is 5. Okay, therefore from this it is 4, it is 5. Okay, now therefore since from 3 you write this formula here, m into VSW means V naught cos theta minus VW cos theta into cos theta is there. Therefore mv naught is equal to VW into small m plus capital M plus, you multiply them, m into V naught cos square theta minus m into VW cos square theta. Cos theta into cos theta, cos square theta. Now we need VW. Remaining all terms must be written aside. You keep aside. mv naught you keep here only. Here you see mv naught cos square theta you bring to left. Okay, then here you see mv naught cos square theta you write to left. Then mv naught minus mv naught cos square theta. When you take mv naught common, 1 minus cos square theta you will get is equal to here VW into m plus capital M minus mvw cos square theta. You split them, m into VW minus m into VW cos square theta plus m into capital VW. Therefore here this becomes mv naught into 1 minus cos square theta means sin square theta, no? That is equal to, here you take mv small m into VW common, then 1 minus cos square theta means again you will get sin square theta plus m into VW. M into VW. Okay. So therefore, you see from this VW you take common. In these two terms you take VW common. When you take VW common, VW of m into sin square theta plus capital M, or capital M plus small m into sin square theta. Okay, therefore VW is equal to this by this one. That means mv naught sin square theta whole by capital M plus small m into sin square theta. VW is equal to mv naught. VW is equal to mv naught sin square theta by capital M plus small m into sin square theta. So here in option C already we got. It is option D. So option D is correct, no? Option D. This is option D. So option D is correct. In option C, just after collision, component of velocity of the sphere along the plane is already V naught cos theta. So option C is also correct. Option C, V naught cos theta immediately after collision, along the incline, what is the velocity of the sphere? They asked. Along the incline, velocity of the sphere immediately after collision is v naught cos theta only. With respect to earth, they asked v naught cos theta only. So C is also correct. So C and D are correct. C and D are correct. Okay, now you see, suppose if they ask the impulse received by the wedge, we had to find this one. Of course, in this case, there is no need of finding this Jn sin theta is equal to mvw, because there are different possible ways to write the equations. Which equation is useful to find? We have to use. Okay. Suppose if they ask the impulse, then impulse received by the wedge Jn is equal to mvw by sin theta. Vw means already we got here. You substitute there, then you will get the impulse received by the wedge. Of course, here they did not ask that one. Here first, relative velocity of the solid sphere with respect to wedge along any direction, that is general formula I have written. Then velocity of the solid sphere is equal to VSW plus VW bar. Now along horizontal direction, what is the velocity of the solid sphere? Along horizontal direction, what is the velocity of the solid sphere? I think we used here velocity of the solid sphere along horizontal direction is equal to velocity of the solid sphere with respect to wedge along horizontal direction plus velocity of the wedge. Already with respect to wedge, when you observe the solid sphere, that solid sphere seems to be travel along this direction immediately after collision. That's why relative velocity of the solid sphere is in this direction. Along horizontal direction means their component along horizontal direction is VSW cos theta. So VSW cos theta I wrote, plus velocity of the wedge. Velocity of the wedge means just VW. So I wrote VW here. The VSW is equal to VSW cos theta. VW is VW only. It is the velocity of the solid sphere along horizontal direction. Now we apply the law of conservation of linear momentum along horizontal direction. Before collision, along horizontal direction, momentum is small m into v naught is equal to, after collision along horizontal direction, velocity of the wedge is m into cap VW plus mass into velocity of the solid sphere along horizontal direction means that is equal to Vs into h, velocity of the solid sphere along horizontal direction. What is the velocity of the sphere along horizontal direction? You see, so along incline, velocity of the solid sphere with respect to wedge is equal to VSW. VSW is equal to, this is the formula I wrote. Now velocity of the solid sphere along incline is equal to velocity of the sphere, even after collision also, velocity of the sphere along incline minus velocity of the wedge along incline. Velocity of the sphere along incline with respect to earth is v naught cos theta, even after collision also. Already I said, immediately after collision, velocity of the sphere along incline is v naught cos theta. Okay, minus velocity of the wedge along incline means definitely this incline or wedge travel towards left only with a velocity VW. Their component along incline means VW cos theta. So I wrote VW cos theta. Now we have VSW. You substitute VSW here along horizontal direction. You see, in this formula, m into velocity of the solid sphere along horizontal direction, velocity of the solid sphere along horizontal is equal to, general formula I have written. Vs means from this formula VSW cos theta plus VW. Okay, mVW plus mVW, small m into VW plus m into VSW cos theta. VSW means along horizontal direction, I substitute here. When I simplified, then I got VW is equal to mv naught sin square theta by capital M plus small m into sin square theta. So today you practice these problems. Today practice this one so that you can have idea again. Okay. Yeah, I will upload total problems. I will upload this and remaining problems also. Definitely you today practice them. This is very, very important. Today you don't read the rotative motion. Even I started now. So just you revise all these problems only. That's enough. Okay. Of course, you are having exam in study hour, I'm telling. Right. So which options are correct? Which options are correct? Velocity of the solid sphere just after collision, component of velocity of the sphere along the plane, that is v naught cos theta. That is v naught cos theta only with respect to earth. Next, velocity of the wedge they asked. That is, so C and D are correct. C and D are correct. So that is the answer. Okay, next. Next one interesting problem is given. 9th problem. 8th problem, I think there is some mistake in the problem only.
సార్ ఎగ్జామ్ లేదు సార్. సార్
You see, in 8th problem there is a mistake. In 8th problem there is a mistake. What is that mistake? Means if you see the problem, the velocity of the sphere A is parallel to the line joining A and B is given, but in the diagram you see velocity of sphere A is parallel to the line joining A and B is given, but it is not given in the diagram. You see, I think there is some mistake in the problem. Tomorrow I will explain that one. Problem is no doubt mistake. Key change may be there or problem may be related. సార్ నాగేశ్వర సార్ మిమ్మల్ని మ్యూట్ చేసుకోమంటే ఓపెన్ చేస్తారు ఎందుకు సార్?
సార్ ఏమో సార్ ఎగ్జామ్ లేదు సార్ ఈరోజు, ఓన్లీ సూపర్ 60 సార్.
Okay, right. Next you see problem number 9. Remaining problems I will send next class. Some ambiguity is there in those problems. Okay, next you see it is one excellent problem, cute problem we have to discuss now. Okay, all of you read that problem. There is now, are you okay? I think you are not getting any disturbance now from others. Dheeraj. Okay. Right. Okay, have you seen the problem? A heavy steel ball held in contact with an extremely light steel ball at a height h is equal to √3 meter above a hard horizontal floor. Above a hard horizontal floor. All of you see that. All of you read the problem. A heavy steel ball held in contact with an extremely light steel ball at a height of √3. At a height of √3 meter above the hard horizontal floor. The line joining the centers of the ball and centers of the balls makes an angle 30 degrees with the vertical as shown. Okay, now if all the collisions are elastic and the size of the balls are negligible as compared with the height, the horizontal range of the lighter ball is Kepler. Find Kepler. Find Kepler. Okay. Now all of you see the board. It's a very, very interesting problem. It's excellent problem. Here you see how we can apply the law of conservation of linear momentum, Newton's law of restitution. Here we can apply in different ways. You see the problem. Here we see actually these both spheres are put in contact at a height √3 meter and they are released. When they are released, definitely both spheres because of gravity comes down, and before this sphere reaches the surface of the earth, then this sphere comes down through a height equal to √3 meter because the height is very large compared with size of these two spheres. That's why whenever this sphere come in contact with the floor, at that time the sphere reaches the falls through a distance equal to √3 meter and acquires the velocity √2gh. When a body is dropped from a height h, what is the velocity acquired? When the body is dropped from a height h, what is the velocity acquired? √2gh, no? h height నుంచి డ్రాప్ చేసిన బాడీ అక్వైర్ చేసే వెలాసిటీ √2gh కదా. ఓకే, కాబట్టి √2gh వెలాసిటీని అక్వైర్ చేస్తుంది. √2gh వెలాసిటీని అక్వైర్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, so here all collisions are elastic, that is given. Collisions are elastic. All collisions are elastic collisions. It is given in the problem only. That's why this at first with the floor, this sphere makes collision with a velocity √2gh. Velocity of each sphere in downwards direction is equal to √2g into h, because whenever the two spheres are dropped from a height h, as they comes down through a distance h, they makes collision with the floor. First, the large sphere makes collision with the floor first with a velocity √2gh. At that time, the small sphere is also having velocity v0 only in downwards direction. It is also having velocity v0 only in downwards direction at the instant whenever large sphere makes collision with the floor. Okay, but as the collision is elastic, as the large sphere makes collision with the floor which is rigid, it rebounds with the same velocity. Rigid floor to collision జరిపినప్పుడు, exactly rigid floor to collision జరిపినప్పుడు along the line of impact only the large sphere makes collision with the floor. That's why it rebounds with a velocity eu. E means 1, that is equal to u only. That's why with what velocity makes collision, with the same velocity it rebounds back. That's why initial velocity of this large sphere in upward direction is equal to say u1. That u1 is equal to u itself. U means v0 itself. Here, before the large sphere makes collision with the floor, as the large sphere comes down through a height h, the velocity with which it makes collision means √2gh, because it is given that the size of the sphere is very small compared with the height. That's why this can be treated as a point mass while making collision with the floor. That's why velocity acquired by the large sphere is equal to √2gh. With this velocity it makes collision, and here this collision takes place along the line of impact only with this velocity. So after elastic collision, it rebounds with the same velocity. No, after nth collision with what velocity it rebounds means vn is equal to e to the power of n into v. As collision is 1, n is equal to 1, e into v. E, in case of elastic collision, e is equal to 1. So it rebounds, it makes collision with a velocity u and rebounds with the velocity u only. But here velocity with which the collision is taken as v0. That's why with the same velocity, the first this large sphere rebounds. So with what velocity it rebounds means v0. With what velocity it makes collision, with the same velocity it rebounds. Similarly, at the same time, whenever after collision, immediately after collision, try to move in backward in upward direction, immediately the small sphere is having velocity v0. No, immediately the small sphere makes collision with this large sphere. ఇది కొలిజన్ జరిపి అపోర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్ మూవ్ అవడానికి రెడీ అవుతుంది. అదే టైంలో ఈ స్పియర్ ఏమో ఆల్రెడీ v0 వెలాసిటీని ఎక్వైర్ చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి కిందకి రావడానికి ట్రై చేస్తుంది. ఇమీడియట్లీ యాజ్ ద డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ మోషన్ ఆఫ్ ది స్పియర్ ఇస్ రివర్స్డ్, ఇమీడియట్లీ ది స్మాల్ స్పియర్ మేక్స్ కొలిజన్ విత్ లార్జ్ స్పియర్. Here at this point of contact, you draw a common tangent. It is the common tangent. Perpendicular to common tangent at the point of contact, when you draw the normal, then it is the common normal. It is the common normal. It is the line of impact. It is the line of impact. So along the line of impact after collision, what is the velocity of this sphere? Along the line of impact after collision, what is the velocity of this sphere? So we have to use Newton's law of restitution we can apply. Newton's law of restitution we can apply, or after one-dimensional collision along the line of impact, what is the velocity of the first sphere? V1 is equal to formula is there, no? We can use that formula also. Anyone we can use. Okay. So here, immediately after collision, what about the velocity of the first sphere? So we have to apply now. So along line of impact, it is the line of impact now. Along line of impact after collision, what is the velocity of this first sphere we need? Velocity of first sphere along line of impact I am asking. Okay. Along line of impact, what is the velocity of the first sphere? That we have to find. Velocity of the first sphere after collision along line of impact is say V1. Okay. Now, already we know along line of impact or whenever one-dimensional collision takes place, after collision, velocity of the first body V1 is equal to, what is the formula? M1 minus M2 by M1 plus M2 into U1 plus 2M2 by M1 plus M2 into U2. We can write directly this formula, or law of conservation of linear momentum and Newton's law of restitution along the line of impact. We can write any one of them. Okay. Here mass of the sphere is M2, mass of the sphere is M1. But here it is given that M2 by far greater than M1. So when compared with M2, M1 can be neglected. You neglect this one, you neglect here, you neglect this one. Then remaining, tell me, minus U1 plus 2 into U2, because M2 empty cancel, M2 empty cancel here. So now we substitute the data. V1 is equal to U1 means that is the velocity of the sorry, here symbols are different here. Okay, velocity of the first sphere. You don't write this as U1. It is V0 only. Okay, now before collision, velocity of the first sphere in this direction is U1. Okay, velocity of the second sphere in this direction before collision is say U2. Okay, now we substitute. Minus U1. Here velocity of the first sphere after collision. Minus, you see U1 means velocity of the first sphere before collision along this direction is equal to, in this direction V0. So in this direction, what is their component along the line of impact? Before collision, along vertical velocity is V0. Their component along the line of impact before collision is, if it is theta, this is equal to theta only. This component is V0 cos theta, no? That is along this direction. I am taking this direction as the reference. That's why you substitute positive only. V0 cos theta. Of course, V0 means root 2gh plus 2 into U2. Before collision, the velocity component of this sphere along this direction is V0 in this direction. Their component in this direction is equal to V0 cos V0, 2 into U2 means V0 cos theta, but opposite direction. That's why you substitute minus V0 cos theta. That is equal to minus 3 V0 cos theta, no? Minus 3 V0 cos theta. It is the velocity of the small sphere along line of impact after collision. Velocity of the first sphere along the line of impact after collision. Okay, now you apply the law of therefore you apply, this is the velocity of the first sphere after collision along line of impact. Here the problem is we have to find the horizontal range after collision along this direction. The velocity of the small sphere is this one. Okay, I will draw only small sphere here. It is the small sphere. It is the vertical. Okay, so with the vertical, V1 is along this direction. That means after collision, the velocity component along line of impact. This is the line of impact direction. Line of impact. It makes an angle 30 theta. Theta means 30 degree. Theta is called 30 degree with vertical. So after collision, along line of impact, velocity of the small sphere is this one. Okay, normal to the line of impact. That means common tangent. Along the common tangent, the velocity of the small sphere is, you see, before collision, velocity of the small sphere along this common tangent is V0 sin theta. We can write now V0 sin theta. Okay, now I need after collision along this common tangent, there is no change in the velocity of the small sphere because these are the smooth spheres. No friction is there. That's why even after collision also along this direction, velocity of the small sphere is this one along common tangent. Along line of impact, the velocity is equal to v1. V1 is equal to this one. Okay. So this is equal to 3v0 cos theta in this direction. Minus sign represents before collision velocity of the small sphere is in this direction. After collision velocity of the small sphere is in this direction. Minus represents. That's why in this direction v1 is equal to 3v0 cos theta. Along this direction v0 sin theta. Okay. The resultant of these two speeds is in between these two. Because of that, the sphere travel along the parabolic path and reaches the, and here at this point, suppose if it reaches the ground, then what is the range? What is the range? This is the range. This is the range. This distance is the range. That range is how much? That is the question they asked. To find the range here, what is the angle? What is the angle made by the resultant velocity of these two? We cannot say directly. Of course, we can find the resultant velocity and we can find the angle made by this resultant velocity with the horizontal. That is one method. Or in other words, resolve this velocity into components. The velocity component of the small sphere along this direction. You see, this angle is 30 degree. This angle 30 means this is 60. Okay. Whenever this is 60, as these two are perpendicular, it is 30. If it is 30, this angle is 60. Then the component of this velocity along this direction is equal to v0 sin theta into sin theta, no? Into sin theta. Along this vertical component is v0 sin theta into cos theta. Of course, theta is equal to here 30 degree. Theta is equal to 30 degree. Of course, if it is theta means it is 90 minus theta. So this is theta. This is theta, we can write. You write like this. Okay, you see. If it is theta, this is 90 minus theta. As these two are perpendicular, this is theta. So the component of this velocity in this direction is v0 sin theta of cos theta. If it is v, their component along horizontal direction is u cos theta. Similarly, v0 sin theta into cos theta. Vertical component is v0 sin theta into sin theta. Okay. We resolve this velocity along horizontal direction, along vertical direction. This velocity, after collision, velocity in this direction is v1. Their component along vertical direction is v1 cos theta in vertical direction, and along horizontal direction v1 sin theta. Okay, now along horizontal direction, velocity component vx is equal to, therefore resultant velocity of the small sphere along x direction is equal to this plus this. That means v1 sin theta plus v0 sin theta into cos theta. But what about v1? v1 is equal to 3v0 cos theta, no? So 3v0 cos theta you write plus v0 sin. v1 means 3v0 cos theta. v1 means 3v0 cos theta into sin theta is there, no? Instead of v1, I substituted this one. Okay, into sin theta. So into sin theta plus here v0 sin theta into cos theta. That is equal to 3v0 sin theta cos theta. v0 sin theta cos theta means 4v0 sin theta cos theta. That is equal to 2v0 into, you write 2 sin theta into cos theta. That is equal to 2v0 into 2 sin theta cos theta can be written as sin 2 theta, no? Sin 2 theta. This is the velocity component along x-axis. This is equation 1. What is the resultant velocity along vertical direction? Vy. Resultant velocity along vertical direction is equal to v1 cos theta minus v1 cos theta minus v0 sin square theta. v0 sin theta into sin theta means v0 sin square theta. v1 means, you write this one, 3v0 cos theta into again cos theta minus v0 sin square theta. Okay, therefore you see here 3v0 cos square theta minus v0 sin square theta. Okay, you can take v0 common. v0 you take common. 3 cos square theta minus sin square theta. 3 cos square theta minus sin square theta. Okay, now of course by substituting the data we can obtain the result. Theta is equal to something we substitute. Okay, so this is vx and vy. Therefore, what about the range? What about the range? Range r is equal to range r is equal to range of the sphere, range of the small sphere is equal to this distance. This is the range. This is the range r. So how we can find range? Range r is equal to horizontal component of velocity into time of flight t, no? That is equal to horizontal component of velocity is of course vx only into time of flight means vertical component of velocity is vy, already we know. With this vertical component of velocity to reach the ground, what is the time taken means, suppose the vertical component of velocity is v or u, what is the time of flight? 2u by 0. Vertical velocity with which the body is thrown vertically upwards is u. Then what is the time of flight? 2u by z. That's why here also vertical component of velocity is of course whatever it may be, vertical component of velocity is vy. Then time of flight is equal to 2vy by z, we can write now 2vy by g. Now we substitute the data. Vx means 2v0 sine 2 theta into 2 into vy means this one, v0 into 3 cos square theta minus sine square theta whole by g is there, you write g. Okay, therefore range r is equal to, you see here 2 into 2 4 v0 square by z, 4 v0 square by z, 4 v0 square by z, 2 v0 into 2 v0 means 4 v0 square by z into sine 2 theta, sine 2 theta into in brackets. How we can write this 3 cos square theta minus sine square theta? Of course, there is no need of changing that formula. Simply you substitute 3 cos square theta minus sine square theta. You substitute the data, that's all. Theta is equal to 30, v0 is equal to root 2 gh. Here height is given, I think. Root 2 into g means 10 into h means root 3. H is root 3. Okay, later we can substitute. You need not substitute now itself. Later we can substitute. Shall I erase this one? Shall I erase this part? I have to substitute the result. I have to substitute the data there. Okay. Now you see. Range r is equal to 4 by z into v0 square means, v0 square means root will be cancelled. Simply 2z into h you write. Okay, into sine 2 into 30 degree, because theta is equal to 30 degree only, no? Theta is equal to 30 degree, given 30 only. So 30 into in brackets 3 cos square 30 minus sine square 30. Okay, therefore this is equal to, here gz cancel, 8h, 8 into h means root 3, h is equal to root 3 into sine 60 root 3 by 2, we can write into 3 into cos 30 means root 3 by 2 whole square is there, 3 by 4, we can write minus sine 30 1 by 2 square is there, 1 by 4. Okay, therefore here this is equal to 8 into 3 by 2 into here 9 by 4 minus 1 by 4, that means 8 by 4 means into 2, we can write. Okay, 2 cancel, so that implies r is equal to 24 meter, no? R is equal to 24 meter. Yeah, range r is equal to 24 meter, that is the answer. Range r is equal to 24 meter. So in this way you have to do. అడ్వాన్స్ లో మనం మొత్తం 18 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేస్తామని అనుకోవద్దు, ఎప్పుడైనా సరే. ఓకే, దాంట్లో మనం ఒక 8-9 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ లేకపోతే 6-7 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేయగలమా లేదా? ఆ 6-7 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏవో పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా చూసుకుని ఒక 8 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేస్తే చాలండి, డెఫినెట్లీ విల్ గెట్ ర్యాంక్. రిగార్డింగ్ ఫిజిక్స్ లో 6-7 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేసినా, లేకపోతే మాక్సిమం 7-8 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేసినా కూడా, మీరు మాక్సిమం 7-8 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మీరు చేసినా కూడా డెఫినెట్లీ యూ కెన్ గెట్ గుడ్ మార్క్స్ ఇన్, గుడ్ ర్యాంక్ ఇన్ ఫిజిక్స్. అంతేగాని 18 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేయాలని లేదు, మీరు మొత్తం టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ మొత్తం చేసినా కూడా వీ కెన్ డూ 8-9 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఇన్ దట్ టైం. అఫ్ కోర్స్ కొంత టైం ఇచ్చారనుకోండి, ఇంకొన్ని ఒక 4-5 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఎక్స్ట్రా చేయొచ్చు. ఇన్ దట్ స్టిపులేటెడ్ టైం 1 hour ఇన్ ఫిజిక్స్ యూ కెన్ డూ 8-9 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మాక్సిమం. ఇంకా ఎక్స్ట్రా చేస్తున్నాడు అనుకోండి, డెఫినెట్ గా హీ గెట్ గుడ్ ర్యాంక్. సో మనం సీట్ గెటింగ్ ర్యాంక్ రావాలంటే 8-9 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ మనం చేయగలిగితే, హార్డ్లీ 9 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ లేదా 10 మాక్సిమం చేయగలిగితే డెఫినెట్ గా మీకు ఐఐటి క్యాంపస్ లో సీట్ రావడానికి ఛాన్స్ ఉంది. అది కాబట్టి మీరు 18 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అబ్బో మనకి డిఫికల్ట్ గా వచ్చినాయి, 8 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ 10 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ డిఫికల్ట్ గా ఉన్నాయని ఫీల్ అవ్వాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. ఓకే, మీరు నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ బుక్స్ చేసినా కూడా ఇంకా మోడల్స్ డిఫరెంట్ గా ఇస్తానే ఉంటారు. ఫిజిక్స్ లో థింకింగ్ there is a broad by thinking broadly they will give different problems to you. కాబట్టి దానికి అన్లిమిటెడ్ అది, ఇంకా ఏ వేలో ఆగిస్తాడు, ఏ వేలో థింక్ చేస్తాడు అనేది వీ కెనాట్ ఇంటర్ప్రిట్. we have to do as possible as number of models so that we can have the different thoughts, we can get different thoughts. Based on that thoughts we can do the at least 8-9 problems perfectly. ఇప్పుడు ఈవెన్ ఈ పేపర్ కూడా చూడండి, డిఫికల్ట్ గా ఫీల్ అయిన పేపర్ లో కూడా మీరు కరెక్ట్ గా చేసి చూస్తే 6-7 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ చేయగలుగుతారు. దట్ ఈస్ ఎనఫ్ ఫర్ దిస్ పేపర్. బికాస్ ఇఫ్ ద పేపర్ ఈస్ డిఫికల్ట్, ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ డిఫికల్ట్ టు యూ, ఎవ్రీ వన్ ఫీల్స్ డిఫికల్ట్. డే బై డే మన నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్, రివిజన్ టైం వచ్చేసరికి మళ్ళీ ఇంకా కొన్ని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఎక్స్ట్రా మోడల్స్ మనం చేస్తాం. అప్పుడు ఈ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కలుపుకుంటే ఇంకొన్ని ఎక్స్ట్రా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తాయి కాబట్టి, మోడల్స్ వస్తాయి కాబట్టి డెఫినెట్లీ యూ కెన్ డూ ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది అకాడమిక్ ఇయర్. ఓకే, overnight we cannot develop we cannot develop our subject. Okay, right, have you completed this problem? Have you noted? Next, problem number 10. In problem number 10 is also there is a key change. In problem number 10 is also there is a key change, I think. You see, problem number 10, already we discussed this type of problem. Once we discussed this type of problem, already one problem we did based on this model. All of you read the problem number 10. A sphere of mass m is moving with a velocity 3i cap plus 4j cap plus 5k cap and rebounds with a velocity. Okay, initial velocity is given. Initial velocity of the sphere is equal to 3i cap plus 4j cap plus 5k cap. Final velocity of the sphere after collision with the smooth wall, 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 2k cap meter per second. That is given. Find the quotient of restitution. E is equal to question mark. Okay, I think some of you did this problem. Already we did this type of problem. How many of you did this problem in the exam? Raise your hands. How many of you done this problem? Subhash, very good. Okay, Nana, very good. Right. You see now, initially, of course, the body travel in a space because 3 coordinates are there. So the body travel in a space. Okay, now here in which whenever the collision takes place with the wall, the sphere makes collision with the wall. Along which direction the momentum changes takes place? It is a smooth wall. It is a smooth wall. That's why along the wall there is no change in the momentum. The momentum takes place only, we cannot say along y-axis or along z-axis. Do you know, is the wall lies along the x-axis or along z-axis? We know that is not given. No, that is not given. That's why we cannot say directly. Here the momentum changes takes place only along line of impact. We know that one. Okay, momentum changes takes place only along line of impact. As we know, all of you see the board. As we know, linear momentum changes takes place. Momentum changes takes place. Linear momentum changes takes place along line of impact. So perpendicular to line of impact, that wall is there. So that is perpendicular to line of impact wall exists. Of course, in which direction wall is there, we need not bother about that wall, but line of impact we should know. Okay, suppose here this is the wall, this is the wall, say, for our convenience, it is the wall, smooth wall, smooth wall. Suppose it is normal to the smooth wall. Okay, whenever the sphere it is not in xy plane, it is the space, in the space I draw, I have considered the wall. One sphere travel with a velocity u by making an angle. One sphere makes collision with the wall by making an angle theta with vertical. Vertical means along line of impact. Vertical means it is the line of impact because it is a line drawn perpendicular to the wall. No, that's why it is the line of impact. With line of impact, by making an angle theta, the first sphere makes collision. After collision, the sphere rebounds with a velocity, say v. That u bar is given, v bar is also given. So this wall after collision makes an angle, say alpha with line of impact. Alpha with line of impact. What is the relation between alpha theta we got? If coefficient of restitution is e, if the coefficient of restitution is e, they ask the coefficient of restitution. If coefficient of restitution is e between the collision between sphere and wall, what is the relation between these two? Tell me, what is the relation among these two? These three. Tan alpha is equal to tan theta by e. Very good, Varshit Reddy. So tan alpha is equal to, already we derived this formula, tan theta by e. We need the coefficient of restitution. That's why e is equal to, we can write tan theta by tan alpha. Okay, here whenever the velocity of the ball initially in this direction and after collision it is in this direction, means in which direction change in momentum takes place? Because it is a smooth wall. As it is a smooth wall, along the parallel to the wall, there is no change in the velocity, so that there is no change in the momentum. Perpendicular to the wall only, as the force exerted by wall on the ball, impulse is received by the ball along the line of impact. So along the line of impact only the momentum changes occurs. Along the line of impact only. So this is the line of impact. Along this direction only change in momentum takes place. Okay, that's why how we can find? So impulse is received by the ball along this direction only, no? Along line of impact, as the momentum changes takes place, along this line of impact only the impulse is received by the ball. Impulse is received by the ball. So we have to find the theta, means angle between the impulse and initial velocity. Alpha means angle between impulse and final velocity. So how we can find impulse? Impulse is equal to change in momentum vector, that is equal to m into final velocity minus m into initial velocity. Already we are given initial velocity and final velocity, no? That's why what is the mass? You write m only. M into v bar means this one, 2 I cap plus 3 j cap plus 2 k cap, minus of u bar means 3 I cap plus 4 j cap plus 5 k cap. Okay, therefore m into 2 I cap minus 3 I cap means minus I cap, plus 3 j cap minus 4 j cap means minus j cap, plus 2 k cap minus 5 k cap means minus 3 k cap. Okay, you take minus common, so minus m into I cap plus j cap minus plus 3 k cap. This is the impulse received. So it is the direction of impulse also. It is the direction of impulse. Angle between impulse and initial velocity, that is theta. How we can find tan theta value? How we can find tan theta value? Okay, to find the tan theta value, so from this we had to find the theta value. Okay, right, you do the dot product between these two. You do the dot product between u bar and j bar. J bar dot u bar is equal to, because to find the angle between these two, as j bar vector is there, u bar vector is there, to find the angle between these two, you do the dot product, because j bar u bar are in vector form. We know u bar is here, j bar is here. Okay, now we do the dot product between them. From that we can find the theta value. Okay, j cap means minus m into I cap plus j cap plus 3 k cap. dot u bar means u bar, this one, 3i cap plus 4j cap plus 5k cap. Okay, now you do, okay, therefore dot, this is equal to dot product between these two is equal to, we can write ju cos, what is the angle between those two? What is the angle between j bar and u bar? J bar and u bar, angle between j bar and u bar is equal to 180 minus theta, no? U bar is in this direction, j bar in this direction, angle between them is equal to 180 minus theta, no? So 180 minus theta you write, 180 minus theta. Okay, therefore when you do the dot product here, minus m into minus m you keep away, dot product between these two, I cap 3i cap dot I cap means 3 plus 4j cap dot j cap means 4 plus 3k cap dot 5k cap means 15. That is equal to magnitude of j. Magnitude of j cap means j bar means this one. Magnitude of j bar means modulus of this one. Modulus of that one means m into modulus of this one means square root of 1 plus 1 plus 9 means 11, root 11. You can write simply. Okay. Into modulus of u. What is the modulus of u? Modulus of u means this one, magnitude of this one, square root of 3 square plus 4 square plus 5 square. That means square root of 9 plus 16, 25 plus 25, root 50. Root 50 means we can write 5 root 2, no? 5 root 2. Okay. Into cos 180 minus theta means minus cos theta we can write, no? Cos 180 minus theta means it is in second quadrant minus. So this minus can be cancelled. M cancelled. So remaining is, here you see 22. 22 is equal to root, here 5 root 22 into cos theta, or cos theta is equal to 22 by 5 root 22. That is equal to root 22 by 5 we can write. It is the cos theta value. If you know cos theta, we can write the tan theta value. Similarly, what is cos alpha? Similarly, do the cos alpha also. We had to find the alpha also. So to find alpha, then we had to do the dot product between j cap dot v bar. ఈ రెండింటి మధ్య డాట్ ప్రొడక్ట్ చేయండి. ఈ రెండు మధ్య డాట్ ప్రొడక్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు j bar is in this direction and v bar in this direction. Angle between them is alpha. So j bar dot v bar is equal to simply jv cos alpha. J bar dot v bar, directly you tell me. J bar is this one, dot v bar. So minus m you keep away, minus m you keep outside, minus m into dot product between these two. Dot product between these two. I cap dot 2i cap means 2. 2 plus 3 plus 6. 2 plus 3 plus 6, no? 2 plus 3 plus 6. It is j bar dot v bar is equal to j into, j means magnitude of j. Magnitude of j means already we got here. Magnitude of j is equal to, we got this only, no? Magnitude of j cap means m into root 11. We got m into root 11. Already here we have substituted. J means m into root 11. Okay. Next, v. Magnitude of v means this one. Square root of 2 square plus 3 square plus 2 square. That means square root of 4 plus 9, root 13. 13 plus 4, 17, root 17. So root 17, you're right. Okay, m here, m cancel. Okay, therefore, cos alpha is there, no? Cos alpha. Minus 11 is equal to root 11 into root 17 into cos alpha. Or cos alpha is equal to minus of root 11 by 17. Root 11 by 17. Okay. Therefore, from the right angle triangle, alpha is equal to minus root 11. Minus root 11. Here, this is root 17. Say, then cos alpha is equal to minus root 11 by 7. Root 17 we can write now. Similarly, here in case of theta. In case of theta, how we can write? It is say theta. Theta is equal to adjacent root 22. Root 22 by hypotenuse 22, it is 5. Okay, therefore cos theta is equal to root 22 by 5. We can write like this. Now you substitute this tan theta and tan alpha form values from them. Okay. Now shall I erase this one? This diagram. J cap and U cap is theta only, not theta, no. Angle between J cap and U cap, you see, U cap is in this direction. J cap is in this direction. So angle between them is this one. That is one main. Here to find the angle between the two vectors, those two vectors must be co-initial vectors. U ఇటువైపుకి J ఇటువైపుకి తీసుకుని angle తీసుకోవాలి. Okay. Already fundamentals from vectors. Vectors లో fundamentals అవే కదా. In order to find the angle between the two vectors, those two vectors must be co-initial vectors. అంటే వాటికి ఇనిషియల్ పాయింట్స్ కోయిన్సైడ్ గా u bar v bar తీసుకుని వాటి మధ్య యాంగిల్ అంటే ఇదే వచ్చేది. That is 180 minus theta కాబట్టి I substituted 180 minus theta. Shall I erase the diagram now? Okay, shall I erase the diagram now? Shall I erase the diagram now? Okay. Right. Now you see from the diagram, E is equal to tan theta by tan alpha. Tan theta means whatever this one you see, you tell me. Square root of tan theta means opposite. Opposite is equal to square root of 5 square minus 22 square means 22. Okay. This one square root of 5 square minus root 22 whole square means 22. It is opposite side. By adjacent means 5. Sorry. By adjacent means root 22. Root 22. This is tan theta. Tan alpha means by tan alpha is equal to opposite side. Opposite side means square root of 17. Square root of this square minus this square means 17 minus 11 only. By adjacent means just you take magnitude, that is enough. Because E is equal to V2 minus V1 by U2 minus U1 we have to write. But in formula we have written V1, U1 minus U2 we have written. That's why minus can be cancelled. This one. So this is equal to, what is this value? 25 root 3. Root 3 by root 22 into root 11 by root 6. Root 6, okay. Root 11, 11 2, that means root 2. Okay, this is equal to 3 2s are. So 1 by root into root 2. That is equal to 1 by 4. That means 1 by 2 you will get now. So E is equal to 0.5. This is the answer, but key is wrong here. I think key is wrong. 0.5 is the answer. Yeah, 1 by 2. But in option it is given 18. It's not correct. But maximum value of coefficient of restriction is 1 only. In case of elastic collision. For explosive collision means whenever the explosion takes place in case of any shell or something, in such case that is greater than 1. That is greater than 1, but that never be that much huge value. So here you will get 0.5. That is correct answer. Okay. So 2 days to me correction, key corrections I will also process. That is 10th problem. I think already we have done this type of problem. We have done this type of problem in the class only. Very good, Nanas. Paranthesis, very good. You got 0.5. Yeah, very good. That is the only answer. Right. Already we did this problem, no? This type of problem we have completed, no? Yes, we have completed. Okay, very good. Next. Okay, next 11th problem. 11th problem you see. All of you read the 11th problem. All of you read the 11th problem. all of you read the 11th problem. This model we have done. Two particles A and B of each of mass small m are attached by a light inextensible string of length 2L. The whole system lies on the smooth horizontal table with B initially at a distance L from A. The particle at end B is projected across the table with speed 4 meters per second perpendicular to AB. Suppose this is A, this is B. The distance between these two A and B particles are L only, but the total length of the wire is 2L. Total length of the wire is 2L. The particle, okay, now the particle at end B is projected across the table with a speed 4 meters per second perpendicular to AB. With a velocity V0 is equal to 4 meters per second. Find the velocity of the ball A just after the string is start. I think I said this model also. Okay, now all of you see the board. I said this model also. I said this model also in the class only. Okay, 11th problem, you see. I said this model, I said, I think. Okay, some root 3L by 2, some L like that. I think I said this problem. This model, not this problem. Okay, you see, here two particles of equal masses, I think. Two particles of each mass M. Okay, two particles are having same mass. Both are joined by means of a light inextensible string of length 2L. These two particles joined with this light string of length 2L is kept, both are kept on a smooth horizontal table. You imagine on the horizontal table so that the distance between the two particles A and B is L. అంటే ఆ రెండు పార్టికల్స్ L distance లో టేబుల్ మీద ఉంచాడు, but both are joined by means of a string of length 2L. Now the particle B is projected with a velocity 4 meters per second perpendicular to the line joining A and B. AB particles యొక్క పొజిషన్ జాయిన్ చేసే లైన్ దీనికి పర్పెండిక్యులర్ గా B అనే పార్టికల్ ని V0 4 మీటర్ పర్ సెకండ్ వెలాసిటీ ఇటువైపు ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేశాడు, ఏదో డైరెక్షన్ లో ప్రొజెక్ట్ చేశాడు. But initial separation between the two particles is L. Here, whenever this particle is projected like this with a velocity 4 meters per second, here as the string is loose, the particle travel with the same velocity 4 meters per second until the string becomes tight or straight like this. And the string యొక్క length 2L అయ్యేంత వరకు ఫ్రీగా ఇట్లా మూవ్ అయిపోయి whenever the particle B reaches the point here, say B dash, then the string becomes tight or straight. Whenever string becomes tight, then immediately some tension is developed in the string, and that tension opposes the motion of this particle. Okay, you see here, just before the string becomes tight, the velocity of this sphere is along this direction, that is equal to m into V0, that is in this direction. Resolve this into components. దీని కాంపోనెంట్స్ గా డివైడ్ చేసినప్పుడు as mv0 is away from this body, this point, the components are also away from this point only. ఒకటి ఇటువైపుకి ఒకటి ఇటువైపుకి ఉంటాయి, పర్పెండిక్యులర్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ గా చేస్తున్నాం. ఇక్కడ యాంగిల్ థీటా అనుకుందాం. Okay, now if it is theta, this is equal to theta. Then this component is mv0 cos theta. This component is mv0 sin theta. Okay, whenever the string becomes tight now, at that time, is there any force acts on the particle B to change this velocity component mv0 sin theta? Momentum component mv0 sin theta? Tell me. ఇక్కడ స్ట్రింగ్ టైట్ గా మారినప్పుడు టెన్షన్ డెవలప్ అవుతుంది. అయితే ఈ పార్టికల్ యొక్క వెలాసిటీ కాంపోనెంట్ ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో V0 sin theta కదా, లేకపోతే మొమెంటం, ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ యూ రైట్ వెలాసిటీస్ ఓన్లీ, మొమెంటం లేటర్ వి కెన్ రైట్. ఓకే, ఈ వెలాసిటీ కాంపోనెంట్ ఇటువైపు V0 sin theta, ఇటువైపు V0 cos theta. Is there any component here, is there any force acts on this particle along this direction to change the velocity? ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో ఫోర్స్ పనిచేస్తాం కాబట్టి this cannot change the velocity of this body in this direction. ఓన్లీ ఈ డైరెక్షన్ లో పనిచేసే వెలాసిటీ చేంజ్ చేస్తుంది. కాకపోతే ఇట్స్ ఓన్లీ whenever this velocity component of this particle in this direction is V0 cos theta, just before the string becomes tight. At that time, whenever the string becomes tight, immediately the string, this particle whenever try to move in this direction with a velocity V0 cos theta, as the string becomes tight, this tension pulls this particle also in this direction along with this one, along this first particle. So along the length of the string, the according to conservation of linear momentum, according to law of conservation of linear momentum along string, along AB dash, AB dash string is straight ga unna time lo along AB dash according to law of conservation of linear momentum, just before the string becomes tight, momentum in this direction is velocity is v naught cos theta. So momentum is mv naught cos theta. That is equal to, whenever the string becomes tight, just string becomes tight, just after string becomes tight, the two, as the string becomes tight, both particles travel with the same speed in this direction. That's why these two particles can be treated as a single body. That means m plus m into common velocity, say v. With that common velocity, the particle A starts their motion. Here they asked, what is the velocity of A just after string becomes tight? Okay, so that is equal to v is equal to v naught cos theta by 2. What is v naught? V naught is given for, what about cos theta? Cos theta means, you see, this is 2l, this is l. What about this length? This length bb dash is equal to square root of 4l square minus l square means 3l square. That means root 3 into l now. So cos theta means adjacent side root 3l by hypotenuse 2l. Okay, it is v naught, and cos theta means this one by 2 is there, by 2. 2 cancel, l cancel. So v is equal to root 3. Root 3 means 1.732 meter per second. 1.732 meter per second. Okay, that is the answer. So 1.73 is given. That is the answer. Okay. Next. Okay, in different ways we can do. I think this method only I followed. Varshit Reddy. I said this type of problem only, but here this distance is equal to L. This is root 3 by 2L. Something is there, I think. That model I said. Okay. Right. Next. You see 13th problem. That 13th problem is also good problem. 13th problem, you see. It is also good problem. All of you write all these problems as examples in your notes only. Notes loni problems anni raskondi, examples ka raskondi. Andukane miscellaneous problems ani cheppi nenu meeku YouTube lo upload chestanu. Miscellaneous problems related to collisions. ఈ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ని దాంట్లో అప్లోడ్ చేస్తాను, అవి చూసుకొని కావాలంటే సొల్యూషన్ మళ్ళీ. ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యు రీడ్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ నౌ. Thirteenth problem. Okay. Here, collision takes place between the small sphere and hemisphere is E is equal to 1. Mass of the hemisphere is 1 kg. Mass of the small sphere, small m, is equal to 4 kg. Given. And the velocity with which the body is projected is 7.5 meter per second. So u is equal to 7.5 meter per second, that is given. And theta is equal to, theta. Theta is equal to 30 degree. That is also given. Find the velocity of the hemisphere just after the impact in meter per second. Okay. All of you see the board now. All of you see the board. A hemisphere of mass capital M is on a smooth horizontal floor, okay, and may move freely in the horizontal direction. So this hemisphere can move along any direction in horizontal plane. A frictionless sphere of mass m moving with a velocity v, okay, v or u, what it may be. Of course, it is v is given. V is given. That v is equal to v. That v is equal to 7.5 meter per second. Strikes the hemisphere at a point where the common normal makes an angle theta with vertical. Okay. So whenever the sphere makes collision, at the point of contact, you draw a common tangent. Perpendicular to common tangent, when you draw a normal, it is a common normal for hemisphere and sphere. So this is line of impact only, no? Okay. The line of impact makes an angle theta is equal to 30 degree with vertical. At that time, what is the velocity of the hemisphere? That is the question they asked. What is the velocity of the hemisphere? You see, initially along the line of impact, before collision, what is the velocity of the small sphere along line of impact? Velocity of the small sphere along line of impact is in this direction. Okay, with that velocity it makes collision. Collision is elastic. That's why here along line of impact, velocity of the small sphere is u is equal to u. This is 90 minus theta means u sin theta you will get. In this direction, u sin theta before collision. Velocity of small sphere before collision in this direction is, of course, v annam kada. So v sin theta, right? Here v sin theta. V. So you write v sin theta. So v sin theta. Okay. So before collision, the velocity of the small sphere in this direction is v sin theta. With this velocity, whenever it makes collision, immediately some impulse is received by the sphere. Suppose if the hemisphere is fixed, then because of elastic collision, with what velocity it makes collision in this direction, with the same velocity it rebounces along the line of impact. If the hemisphere is fixed, but it can move freely along any direction in horizontal plane. That's why. So whenever collision takes place with the sphere, with this hemisphere along the line of impact, the hemisphere receives an impulse J due to action. At the same time, due to reaction, the small sphere receives the impulse in opposite direction. Suppose because of impulse received, their component of this impulse acts along horizontal direction and along vertical direction. Along horizontal direction, impulse received is equal to impulse received by the hemisphere is equal to J cos 90 minus, this is cos 90 minus theta, no? It is 90 minus theta. So J cos 90 minus theta is the impulse received by the hemisphere along this direction. Due to this, the hemisphere travel with a velocity, say Vs. Hemisphere, sorry, symbol, you write V0. Hemisphere starts their motion with a velocity V0 along horizontal direction. Okay, now from the diagram, for hemisphere along, you see, for hemisphere, impulse received along horizontal direction is equal to J cos 90 minus theta means J sin theta. That is equal to mass of hemisphere m into V0. Okay, therefore J into cos 90 minus theta means sin theta, no? That is equal to m into V0. I think data is also given, so we substitute here only. Okay, V0 is we have to find. Okay, you keep like this, no problem. You keep like this. This is equation 1. It is the component of impulse received by the hemisphere along horizontal direction. Okay, along normal, or along line of impact. Along line of impact. So along line of impact, impulse received is equal to along line of impact, impulse received by the sphere. For sphere, impulse received by the sphere, here is the J is equal to final momentum in this direction. Impulse means change in momentum, no? final momentum. Suppose after collision, the velocity of the small sphere becomes along line of impact. The velocity of the small sphere becomes say v1. It is the first sphere. Okay, velocity of the small sphere becomes v1. So momentum is m into v1 minus initial momentum. Initial momentum means along this direction momentum is mv. Their momentum along line of impact is opposite impulse. No, ఇక్కడ ఈ స్మాల్ స్పీడ్ రిసీవ్ చేసిన ఇంపల్స్ ఇటువైపు ఉంటుంది. ఇటువైపు ఇంపల్స్ ఏమో దీని మీద పనిచేస్తుంది. రియాక్షన్ ఫోర్స్ వల్ల ఇంపల్స్ ఇటువైపు ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఇనిషియల్ మూమెంటం ఆపోజిట్ ఇంపల్స్ ను, కాబట్టి మైనస్ ఆఫ్ మైనస్ వి హావ్ టు రైట్ మైనస్ ఆఫ్ మైనస్ m ఇంటూ వెలాసిటీ కాంపోనెంట్ అలాంగ్ ద డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఆపోజిట్ డైరెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఇంపల్స్ ఇస్ ఈక్వల్ టు v0 ఇది ఇన్ దిస్ డైరెక్షన్ v0 sin 90 v0 cos 90 minus theta means v0 sin theta. So v sin theta, v sin theta. Okay, therefore J is equal to mv1 plus mv sin theta. mv1 plus mv sin theta. Okay, and moreover we have taken this mv1, we have taken this. Okay, as we are taking all velocities in this direction, you take the velocity of the small sphere also after collision along this direction only, that is v1. So you write v1 minus v1 you write, because impulse is in this direction, whereas velocity after collision, velocity of the small sphere along the line of impact is v1 in this direction. Initial component is also in this direction. That's why here you will get J is equal to minus mv1 plus mv sin theta. This is equation 2. Okay, from this J is equal to, we can write mv sin theta minus mv sin theta minus mv1. This is equation 2. Okay, now from the diagram, along line of impact, according to Newton's law of restitution, E is equal to relative velocity of separation along line of impact, relative velocity of separation by relative velocity of approach. So here, okay, this is equal to 1. Relative velocity of separation along line of impact means after collision along line of impact, what is the velocity of the second body, what is the velocity of the first body after collision. So this is 1 now. So 1 is equal to relative velocity of separation means relative velocity after collision along line of impact is velocity of the second body minus velocity of the first body along line of impact. Velocity of the second body after collision is in this direction is v0. Their component along this direction is v0 cos 90 minus theta means v0 sin theta. No, that's why v0 sin theta minus velocity of the sphere along line of impact after collision. Already we have taken in this direction only, that is v1. We already imagined v1 in this direction only, no? So v1 by relative velocity of separation. So relative velocity of separation is equal to relative velocity of approach before collision. Initial velocity of the u1 minus u2. u1 means velocity of the sphere. u1 in this direction means initial velocity in this direction is v. Their component in this direction is v cos 90 minus theta means v sin theta. V sin theta minus initial velocity of the hemisphere before collision, that is at rest 0, implies v sin theta is equal to v0 sin theta minus v1. This is equation 3. From these equations we have to derive the formulas. Okay, impulse from equation 1, impulse J is equal to, we can write from this, from 1, impulse J is equal to mv0 by sin theta, we can write now. Impulse J is equal to mv0 by sin theta, we can write. Okay, here this is equal to, this impulse J is equal to, we can write this now from equation 2. So you equal them. So mv sin theta minus mv1, mv sin theta minus mv1. Okay, so from this you do cross multiplication. mv0, because we have to find v0, mv0 is equal to, when you do cross multiplication, mv sin theta into sin theta, sin square theta minus mv1 into sin theta, mv1 into sin theta. As we had to find v0, v1 should not be there because v is given, theta is given, everything is given. v1 is not known, we imagine them. That's why from this formula v1 can be written from this formula. So m v naught is equal to mv sine square theta minus m v1 means from this formula v1 can be written as v naught sine theta minus v sine theta into sine theta is there into sine theta. You simplify that. Okay, v1 sine v naught sine theta minus v sine theta we have written. Okay, now m v naught is equal to mv sine square theta minus you multiply that mv naught sine theta into sine theta. That means mv naught sine square theta minus minus plus mv sine theta into sine theta. So mv sine square theta. You write all v naught terms aside. You bring this minus mv naught sine square theta to left and you take v naught common. When you take v naught common, then m plus m into sine square theta is equal to mv sine square theta plus mv sine square theta. That means we can write 2mv sine square theta now. 2mv sine square theta. 2mv sine square theta. You substitute the data. From this we have to find the v naught value. From this we have to substitute the formula v naught is equal to 2mv sine square theta by capital M plus m into sine square theta. Now you substitute the data and you simplify them. Here 2 into small m means we are given 4k now. 4 into v means 7.5 into sine 30 whole square. Sine 30 degree whole square. Whole by capital M means 1 case plus small m means 4 case into sine square theta. Sine 30 whole square. Okay, you simplify them. Okay, here 2 into, okay, sine 30 means 1 by 2. Whole square is there, 1 by 4. 4 cancel. Here also sine 30, 1 by 2. Square is there, 1 by 4. Of course, 1 by 4. 4 cancel, 1. 1 plus 1, 2. This 2 cancel. 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 4 cancel. 7.5 is there. 7.5 meter per second is the answer. We got 7.5 meter per second. Okay. In next class, I will say the remaining problems. Or today I will make a video and I will send the solutions to you. If not, tomorrow I will explain the problems. Right. Yeah, advance only. Yeah, definitely. All problems I will explain on the board. On the board, or I will make a video for remaining problems at least. Okay. Okay, last week paper also I will make a video and try to put in upload in the WhatsApp. Definitely. Okay, Nana. Have a nice day. I'm signing out.